Okay, we should be live right now. Let's hope so. I think we can all agree we should have some sort of vigil. This is big news, guys. This is huge. Anyway, hello and welcome to another That's Just Joe video. My name's Joe and that's about it. It's about 6:20 in the morning here in the UK. I've just made a video talking about this, but I wanted to go live and actually talk to people about the recent news that Henry Cavill is no longer Superman. This is quite big because a couple of months ago, Black Adam, one of the most successful DC properties to ever exist, came out, and the post-credit scene included Cavill's Superman meeting Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's Black Adam and saying, let's talk, basically, or let's fight, you know. And The Rock, I have to be honest, The Rock completely relied on Cavill's Superman return to make Black Adam successful. And even when Cavill was supposedly coming back as Superman, it didn't work either way. It didn't work. Black Adam did not do well. Now, just going back to Henry Cavill's Instagram, this was his announcement. He was returning as Superman. A very small taste of what's to come, my friends. The dawn of hope renewed. Thank you for your patience. It will be rewarded. And he goes on to say he's very excited to come back and work on a new project as Superman. And this was 7 weeks ago. This is just over a month ago. And now we're here. And I'll read the statement. I have just had a meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran, and it's sad news, everyone. I will, after all, not be returning as Superman. After being told by the studio to announce my return back in October, we'll get back to that in a minute, prior to their hire, this news isn't the easiest, but that's life. The changing the guard is something that happens. I respect that James and Peter have a universe to build. I wish them and all involved with the new universe the best of luck and the happiest of fortunes. For those who have been by my side through the years, we can mourn for a bit, but then we must remember Superman's still around. Everything he stands for still exists, and the examples he sets for us are still there. My turn to wear the cape has passed, but what Superman stands for never will. It's been a fun ride with you all, onwards and upwards. And obviously, we've even had Zachary Levi, who plays Shazam, comment, hope to catch you in another universe, sir. And I don't know if this is hinting towards that he will no longer be continuing as Shazam as well, but we can only hope. No, I really like Shazam, to be honest. It was one of my favourite DC movies after the nightmares we've been having with Justice League and everything. So it was nice to see a nice DC film. But yeah, Cavill is out as Superman. He is out. James Gunn actually made the announcement himself, I think just before Cavill, and you can find it here. But James Gunn, obviously, Peter and I have a DC slate ready to go, which we couldn't be more over the moon about. We'll be able to share some exciting information about our first projects at the beginning of the new year. Among those on the slate is Superman. In the initial stages, our story will be focusing on the earlier part of Superman's life, so the character will not be played by Henry Cavill. But we just had a great meeting with Henry and we're big fans, and we talked about the number of exciting possibilities to work together in the future. To be honest, I think Cavill is done with DC. I don't think he'll be returning to any of their projects in future. It does sound like the meeting went well and Cavill understood. I'm sure he's very upset because obviously a lot of the fans, especially the Snyderverse fans, have been very excited for this return for a while and it's not happening. But he did go on to confirm that he is writing the new Superman film, James Gunn. He is writing it. and it'll be a movie. That was the other thing. I think that was quite important to clarify as well, because it could have easily been a TV show, Superman, to be honest. Please tell me this is an origin movie. No way. So this is interesting because it's a bit like the Batman in many ways. Obviously, the Batman is a story about Bruce Wayne in his young days after in year 2 of being Batman. So he's not quite fleshed out and everything. So to see something similar with Superman, that's going to be really interesting. And his earlier days as a reporter, I think it sounds fantastic. And to be honest, I think I know who's going to direct. I think it's Andy Muschietti. There is no doubt in my mind they are trying to get Andy Muschietti to do this film, because I know Gunn is a fan of horror, and I'm sure he really enjoyed it, Chapter 1 at least. And The Flash has been getting fantastic test screening reactions overall, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're looking at Andy Muschietti. He also talked about Ben Affleck. Met with Ben yesterday. Precisely, he wants to direct, and we want him to direct. We just have to find the right project. So that confirms he won't be directing a Superman movie, but also that Affleck is definitely out as Batman. And I think it's obvious. It's been obvious for ages that Ben Affleck no longer wants to play Batman. This is what I'm not understanding about the Snyderverse people and everything, is that why would Zack Snyder want to return to a studio or like a company that completely fucked with his movie, but also his life? Why would you want someone to go back to a hellhole like that and experience all that pain and suffering once again? You all don't make sense, you Snyderverse fans. You need your head checked. That's what you need. But guys, this does confirm the Snyderverse is dead. The Snyderverse is finally fucking dead, and this confirms it. Oh, I'm missing a light. It's not going to happen. James Gunn does not want to do it, and obviously there's been a load of hashtags saying fire James Gunn recently because of that. But guys, the Snyderverse is dead. It didn't work for general audiences. It's not going to work for people like me as well. Okay, so kind of dissecting this statement from Cavill. So when I was saying, after being told by the studio to announce my return back in October, it was said, I think like literally a week ago, that Warner Brothers did not tell Cavill to announce he was returning as Superman, or advised him at least. But here he is saying he was told to. And I believe Cavill. I do. I believe Cavill more than anything. I feel like the studio panicked because of Black Adam, and they just got him quickly to say, I will be coming back as Superman. So people would go and watch Black Adam. I don't think it quite worked. But I completely believe Cavill here. I do. There's no way. Also, the other thing, kind of confirming it's a DC reboot, DC Universe, a new DC Universe, is that I respect that James and Peter have a universe to build. And also a reboot of Superman, which I'm sure is going to be a part of the DC Universe. I was saying in my last video that I'm not sure about Superman being their first film in this universe, kind of to open the doors to the world, but if they do it right, and that's before I heard it was about a young Clark Kent as a journalist whilst being Superman, but if they do it right, I know Gunn's going to write the shit out of this film. Hopefully it's not a Superman Returns situation, because a lot of people are excited for Bryan Singer's Superman and everything, and it sounded very interesting, and it was kind of a loose sequel to the original films and everything. But I have to say, Brandon Ralph, who played Superman in that? He was brilliant as Superman, and obviously he's appeared as Superman a couple of more times since then, or a version of Superman. But this is this is big, guys. This is really big. And obviously we're not going to find out anything more until the new year. Gunn has confirmed that in his Twitter statement. So, what do you think they're going to announce? This is what I'm kind of betting on. So I'm going to get this notepad up. So, possible DC slate announcements. I think that's how you spell announcements. Okay, so we know Superman movie clarity. So we'll be getting clarity on the Superman movie. I think they're going to be finding a director very quickly and a writer. Well, not a writer because James Gunn's writing it. But I feel like this is going to happen very quickly. So I think this is going to be number 1 as well, obviously. So a Superman movie. What will it be called? Man of Tomorrow? Clark Kent, The Superman Adventures? I don't know. I think another possibility we are getting is sorry, I've completely lost my mind. Wonder Woman. I feel like there's still space for Wonder Woman in the DC universe, and it could possibly be Gal Gadot. But to be honest, with Superman being rebooted, Gal Gadot out. I think it's possible. If Cavill's not coming back, why would Gadot be in it? And to be honest, she was fucking awful in Wonder Woman 1984. Awful. It wasn't a great film either, so I can't just blame her for that. I just realised I haven't put my Superman action figure to show my love. I'd love to put him there, but I can't. We'll just put him. We'll put him there. We'll put him there. So yeah. So Superman movie definitely. I think they'll be announcing a Wonder Woman. I do think they're going to go to the general characters. I do. I think that's what's going to reel people in. How many movies are they going to announce? Well, let's see. They're saying their slate starts from 2024, so after all the rest of the DC extended universe films. I think they could possibly shoot something next year. I think that's possible. We did obviously have an announcement of Lobo, possibly. But I think that could be a TV show. I think we'll get a Peacemaker. But it is likely that Peacemaker is no longer happening. It could, to kind of clean up this universe, it could be clarified what Peacemaker is. Obviously, at the end of Peacemaker Season 1, we saw Cavill Superman in Shadow. We saw Wonder Woman, Aquaman. We saw Jason Momoa's Aquaman. We saw Ezra Miller's The Flash. So maybe James Gunn doesn't want to get rid of those two because, yeah. I think another thing we could expect is, and this is controversial, it really is, but they were going to try it anyway. And can we just say this is to do with the new DC Universe slate? I don't have to explain how this is happening, but yeah. A new Batman. I have a feeling they are going to want to incorporate a version of Batman into this DC Universe. And Pattinson's, or Reeves's, continues. Obviously Matt Reeves' Batman world will continue as its own thing, but I think there's going to be a new Batman film. I'll put DCU Batman. I just have a feeling. I have a feeling, man. You can't do a DC universe without Batman and Superman. Wonder Woman, you could absolutely do it without. Obviously, we've been hearing James Gunn posted not too long ago. Sorry, you don't want to see all that. James Gunn obviously posted. I've completely forgotten the character's name now. I'm gonna live for it. Oh my god, I'm so tired. This is why you don't get up early. Oh yeah, Mr. Terrific. Now, Mr. Terrific, could that be a movie? I don't know. I think it could be more of a TV show, but to be honest, James Gunn is looking at these characters that are hardly noticeable. So obviously, Mr. Terrific. Trying to think who else James Gunn has been teasing. The news is crazy. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It is mental, Zach. It's like I woke up at 5 a.m, right? I went, okay, I need a toilet. I might get up. I might have a coffee and everything. Literally went on my phone. Henry Cavill no longer Superman. I've been asleep for like 8 hours. It is mental, man. And it's really early in the UK, Zach. I can't lie. I'm still kind of reeling. I've got to start work in a couple of hours, but I had to report on this news. I had to do a live. Go check out my video, by the way. I did a quick edit of this. But James Gunn has been teasing a few things. I just feel like... we're going to get some unexpected characters as well. If you haven't seen Zach, by the way, we're doing breakdown of the possible DC slate announcements. I think there will be, there's going to be a Superman movie. I think a Wonder Woman movie. Lobo will be a TV show. Peacemaker Season 2. A new DCU Batman. Reeves' Batman outside of this, like Joker. And obviously Mr. Terrific project. Could be an animation or could be a video game. There's no stopping them from doing video games based on completely new characters that are set in the DC universe. How mad do you think The Rock is? Oh, I think he is pissed. I think he is absolutely mad, Zach. I think because, let me just get this up quick. I still haven't seen Black Adam, by the way. So if anything, you should be pissed at me. I'm planning to watch it this weekend. A lot of people are saying, why did I watch Black Adam? You should be watching films for the film. You shouldn't be watching it because it's connected to a universe. That's not how it works. But obviously there was a box office nightmare for Black Adam. Dwayne Johnson took to social media to defend the profitability of his passion project Black Adam, but new reports claim he exaggerated the numbers. Wait to confirm with the finances before I shared this excellent Black Adam news. Our film will be profit between 52 million and 72 million. Fact, at almost 400 million worldwide, we are building our new franchise step by step. First Captain America did 370 million for the DC future. This is bullshit numbers. This is bullshit numbers. And also, when the star, who is the exec, I guess, tweets this, it's all about the money. It's all about the money. And I know we all know that secretly, but it's more, it's better to talk about the project itself than actually talking about, oh, this made more money than Captain America. It's fucking boring. Like, we should be celebrate the film for its own achievements, its director, the cast and everything, the amazing work the crew put in. But then you go, oh, my movie made this much. I think The Rock has finally found out he's not so tough. He might be tough physically, but just because he's in a movie doesn't mean people are going to go and watch it. Jungle Cruise is a different story. I've seen a lot of people talking about Jungle Cruise, like, why did that make so much money? A, it's a Disney film. B, it was already a property. It was a ride at Disney. And C, it's a kids' movie. A lot of kids would be, seeing Jungle Cruise, and its release on Disney Plus helped that as well. This is the problem with movies and everything these days. It's accessibility. You have to be able to get to these things quicker. Good for it all being in cinema and everything, but it just doesn't work anymore. That's not the way it works anymore, especially for a franchise you're trying to build. Batman and all this, and Superman and the Marvel films, you go, I have to go to the cinema to watch this, I have to. DC, you'd kind of like, what the fuck is a Black Adam? Like, you're like, nah, let's not do that, man. Also, Dwayne Johnson, look at what this Marvel movie did. I know. Just like, what is this? Like, comparing, measuring sizes. Like, there is no, I don't get what people get from it. We should be thinking about the film. Concentrate on the film. And I know what Black Adam's going to be when I go and see it. Well, when I see it on my TV. I know what Black Adam's going to be. It's going to be a 3-act movie where Black Adam comes back. He gets angry with loads of army people. He just kills loads of people. Then the Justice Society of America come in and go, no, you shouldn't be bad. And he's like, well, I'm not bad. I just kill people. And then they teach him the ways of the fucking world today and that he shouldn't just be killing people. Then he becomes the saviour and he saves like a mum and her child or something like that. And at the end of the film, he's still dangerous to the world, obviously, and he's getting threats. And then they're like, "Oh, send in Superman." The Superman we're getting rid of. That's the film. It's fucking boring. Why can they not write interesting stuff, like Gunn. Gunn did that for a TV show with Peacemaker. So yeah, I've got the action figure of Black Adam. I can't lie, because I'm kind of upset with that shelf on my shelf. Actually, I'll show you my shelf quickly. You can see it in the corner, but I'll put my main camera on. This is quite funny, actually. Just here is my DC shelf, and there's like Peacemaker and Black Adam and Ben Affleck's Batman and Cavill Superman. Like, just sat there, and then I'm reading this, going, "Oh, like it's so funny, man. It's stupid." All right, live. Definitely watched the movie. I've not seen Black Adam. I've seen the post-credit scene, obviously, and I knew about that for a long time, but I've not seen Black Adam. I'm going to watch it this weekend though. But it's like £20 or $20 to watch, to rent. I'm not buying it. Oh God, I'm thinking of my DC collection, man. I'm thinking of all what gonna have to change for this new universe. Well, the great thing about Marvel, can you imagine if Marvel just one day went, yeah, we're rebooting it? I'd just be looking at my Marvel Legends like, oh no. Like, oh shit. Oh man. But anyway, this is huge. Kind of can't believe it's happening. And I feel like those Snyder people are going to be very quiet, because when Cavill was announced to return, Snyderverse people were like, I told you so. The Snyderverse is coming back. Zack Snyder doesn't want to come back. Shut your fucking mouth. And the Snyderverse has been existing. It existed in Peacemaker. It's going to continue existing next year with Aquaman 2, The Flash, Shazam 2, and then we destroy. I love a gun. James Gunn has just pulled a fucking Hela on Asgard and just destroyed the DC extended universe. And what a stupid name for a universe, by the way. DCU, perfect. And I'm looking forward to the DC Studios sort of future and everything. And Gunn is fantastic as a creator. Peter Safran is a fantastic businessman, but Gunn has the guns, basically. Bring in the guns. Do you think Momoa and Godot are done as well? I do. I mean, why would they keep them around if Cavill is gone? Remember, Cavill was sort of not fully, but he was the connective tissue with these other films. With these other characters. The thing with the DC films is that they are way more creative than the Marvel films, because I felt the director's creativity inputted on the screen. Not with Justice League, obviously, but Zack Snyder's Justice League is definitely one of them. And Man of Steel. Like, that is a Zack Snyder film, painted all over. Batman v Superman is very nearly a Snyder film, but you can start to feel the Warner Brothers pressure building in. But I think Momoa and Godot are done. And obviously with the recent news that they turned away Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 3 pitch, I think Godot is done. Is it Godot? Momoa, it has been made clearer that Aquaman 2 is his final outing as the character, but he is being considered as Lobo. I don't know where that rumour surfaced. I know James Gunn suggested Lobo a couple of weeks ago. So if anything, Momoa is still in. Godot is dead. Like, she is not Wonder Woman anymore. There is no doubt. I think if they were going to keep her, they would have tried to keep Patty Jenkins on board. But it sounds like from 2024, the DC new universe is about to change forever. The hierarchy of power in the DC universe. I don't fucking think so. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh at The Rock, but at the end of the day, this man is one of the best paid actors, best paid person in the world. He gets paid more than Robert Downey Jr. So, at the end of the day, he's going to be fine. Sorry, there's cat hair on my microphone. He's going to be fine. There's no doubt. Yeah. So, yes, Zach, I think Momoa and Godot are gone. I think Miller is gone. Ezra Miller, I think he's gone. Who else is on that bloody team? Ray Fisher, obviously, he's been gone for a while. Michael Keaton as Batman. I mean, Batgirl got cancelled, and if anything, David Zaslav helped Gunn and Safran with cancelling Batgirl. It's 100% true. Because I bet you Gunn and Safran have seen Batgirl, and they probably even gave studio notes on it, but I don't know, man. Sounds weird. Ezra is long gone. Still excited for the Flash. Yeah, this is the thing. I've talked about Ezra Miller in my last videos. I hate the man. I hate the person. I really do. But the Flash, man. I mean, once you put Michael Keaton, when you put on the post or in a news announcement, Michael Keaton returning as Batman, his Batman, and we're going to the Tim Burton universe, I'm there. I'm sold. That is my Batman. Zach, apparently a Michael Keaton Batman spin-off got cancelled as well. Yeah, that is true, apparently. Apparently it was Batman Beyond, but it wasn't going to be beat by beat a Batman Beyond film, I heard. Somehow it would have incorporated Leslie Grace's Batgirl. And Michael Keaton was going to be... You know, the plan with The Flash was it would reset the DC Extended Universe. Michael Keaton became the established Bruce Wayne. Ben Affleck gone because he didn't want to do it anymore. And then he would be the Nick Fury of the DC Extended Universe. And I thought that was an interesting concept. So obviously, with Keaton's age and everything, and where the stories takes place, it would be cool to see a Terry McGinnis as Batman. But I don't think that was the plan, weirdly. I think they were going to do a Batman Beyond, but it wasn't going to be Terry McGinnis, which doesn't make any sense, to be honest. I don't know, man. Should we get some chill music on? I feel like we need some... Just a bit of chill. It's not too loud, is it? But yeah... I mean, yeah, so that's my guesses. I'll get that back on screen. That is my guesses. You got to go further into the future of Batman Beyond. Yeah, but I don't think they were thinking that, to be honest. I think they were thinking, you know, it's based in our current time and everything and the technology we have, but they kind of extend that like the MCU with their technology and everything, so... At least the world would be recognisable. But to be honest, you'd have to get a really, really good director for Batman Beyond. You'd have to get someone Blade Runner 2049 sort of vision. You know, it has to be immaculate. You can't just go, this is the future. It has to feel like the real world. So it is relatable. You know, like Star Wars Theory says, you know, you can't have bricks and everything. But yeah, that's my guesses so far. You know, this is my guesses. Superman movie already confirmed. Wonder Woman soft reboot definitely happening. Lobo TV show, maybe not a TV show, but Lobo is happening. Or he's been included in a project. Peacemaker season 2, I think that's definitely going to be announced. A new DCU Batman. I just think there's no doubt. You cannot have a DC universe without Batman. And if they're not going to bring in Pattinson's Batman, a new DCU Batman, I'd be happy with that, to be honest. And a Mr. Terrific project, which has sort of been confirmed by Gunn, but it could be a video game. Could be a video game. Who knows? Right, guys, I am popping to the toilet quickly, so obviously we'll be right back. Sorry I'm late. Oh, man. Stop the cat. Whew. Sorry. Had to get a coffee. Clean out my cat's litter. I'm out of breath because I ran up some stairs. But here we are. So anyway, back to the news. Henry Cavill, no longer Superman. Ben Affleck out as Batman. James Gunn confirming a Superman reboot based on Clark Kent when he was younger, with Cavill not returning. I mean, this begs the question, doesn't it? This begs the ultimate question we ask ourselves. Who is playing Superman? Who is it? Who will play the new Superman? Now, to be honest, obviously in the past we've had newcomers come into the role to kind of establish themselves as actors, but also so you kind of don't think of Superman of someone else from another project. But to be honest, Pattinson played Batman. You know, he was from Twilight. Bale played Batman. He was known to play like bad guys and, you know, murderers and everything. Who else played? Gal Gadot, Fast and Furious. No, Jason Momoa. You know, Game of Thrones, and he still played Aquaman. You can still get an established actor into the role of Superman. I really do. I think you can. I know a lot of people have been suggesting what's his name? I mean, the guy that plays him in the TV show is pretty spot on, isn't he? But here's an article from 2018 from Screen Rant. That's saying I have an ad blocker, and I don't. 7 actors who could play the new Superman. Okay, so this is from Game Rant. 7 actors who could play Superman if the DC universe reboots, and it sounding like it is. Michael B. Jordan, that's been talked about, but he could be playing Val Zod in the J.J. Abrams produced Superman film. John Krasinski? Nah, I don't think so. He's too old. Richard Madden? Too old. And he's already Icarus. Taron Egerton. Ooh! That's not a bad idea. Obviously, it's been rumoured for a long time he might be playing Wolverine, but I don't see him as Wolverine, to be honest. Finn Wittrock. Nah. Matt Bomer? Oh, he was one of the final runner-ups. What was he in? I don't recognise him. Liam Hemsworth, no. So it's not going to be any of those, because as Gunn has said, it will be a younger Clark Kent. So I think it's going to be someone in their mid-20s, late 20s. Can't be 30s. You have to get those kids watching. Have to get those kids watching. There's no doubt about it. Now, with the I just think, yeah, just someone. Yeah, there's some weird tweets going out, basically. Looking at the reaction of Cavill no longer coming back and the James Gunn DC universe overall, let's have a look at some of the God. Henry Cavill was a backstabber. He took every opportunity to trash Zack Snyder's vision. Fuck Henry Cavill. He deserves this humiliation. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Hashtag bring back Zack Snyder, who does not want to come back after what Warner Brothers did to his fucking life. But yeah. Yeah, of course, Zack wants to come back. Yeah. No shit. Everyone who hitched their ride to Jeff Johns getting left behind. If only they stood by Zack in 2017, we might have had a different outcome. The DC universe wasn't going to work. The DC extended universe wasn't going to work, so shut your fucking mouth. It wasn't going to work. It wasn't going to work. Liz Wanda, who obviously cosplays as Gal Gadot quite a lot and does a fabulous job of it, has tweeted, as a DC fan, I'm super upset. I've been pretty chill about all the changes and I always tried to stay positive, but this is the dumbest crap I have seen in a while. I'm disappointed, hurt, and honestly, I feel defeated. I'm sorry. Liz, calm down. I think why Liz is feeling a bit rough as well is because if Henry Cavill is no longer Superman, as we were discussing earlier, it sounds like Gal Gadot is no longer Wonder Woman. What is the point of bringing back Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa and Ezra Miller if you are not bringing back Cavill, who is again the sort of, the main center point of all this? It all started with Man of Steel. So yeah. Oh, for God's sake, shut up, Matt. The thing is, I don't even follow Matt Ramos, and I get this. Okay. So, Soups once again being, oh my God. I don't hate Soups, by the way. I'm sure he's a lovely guy, but with the news about what he did to his agency, his manager, and it all being his fault, and him being an absolute piece of shit at the same time, I still don't hate him, but he is an awful, awful human being. And one of the reasons, he's not an awful human being, but he's put FML, fuck my life. I've got all this Superman merch everywhere. Why do you have to stop liking it? Who's telling you that you can't have that stuff anymore? I mean, it is a bit like me earlier, like, I just bought all these DC figures and no more DC Universe. But I'm still going to keep my action figures. Doesn't mean you have to take down everything, my man. You can just keep it up. It looks cool. Why do you need to take it down and replace it? I think he knows you're some vile human beings. What is the music? I haven't heard this music yet. Let's hear this music. Not what I'm playing. What's Matt Ramos playing? Oh, it's that shit Superman music, of course. You're vile human beings. Sorry, I'm kind of going off piece here, but oh dear. So yeah, what's funny is that Matt Ramos's keyboard thing is Black Panther. just as in he got completely slated for saying Wakanda Forever wasn't as good as the first one, and they were like, shut up. And it's his opinion at the end of the day. He can have opinion about stuff. It's really funny, this. I mean, let's look at the quote tweets. Like I said, maybe someone will find something to love about the new DC movies going forward. I'm out, though. No, you're not. You are not out. Shut up, Mr. Big Shot. You realise that the only reason we don't have Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3 is because the studio effed up the movie, hiding behind a Snyder family tragedy, and here you are putting the final nail on the chance of a sequel. No. Warner Brothers didn't hide behind Zack Snyder's thing. They used it. They didn't hide. They used it as a weapon to basically overrule Zack. So, no. Dickhead in the flesh for real. Captain Britain versus Peacemaker incoming. Oh my god. Yeah, it could be a possibility, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, yeah, to be honest. We'll let you know if there are any future openings for this position. In terms of working with Cavill again, I don't think he's going to work with them again. I think he'll go Marvel. I think he will. And remember, Cavill's a fantastic actor. He's been heavily praised for The Witcher, Mission Impossible. He's hugely popular in that franchise when he was the villain. And I saw it recently and I thought he was excellent. So he's still got that vibe about him. He could be James Bond. That's a thought. He could still play James Bond now. He's no longer Superman. He's no longer The Witcher. He is unemployed. Give him the 007 position. Stuff like this. Gonna say, and absolutely, you can talk about stuff. Gonna say what we're all probably thinking. No. Make him the Earth 2 JSA Superman. Allow us to have the younger Superman and keep Henry at the same time. No. I think the other thing to consider with all this news is that James Gunn is trying to simplify the DC universe. I do. I don't think he wants it to be confusing for general audiences. The problem with DC films is that they're not dragging in general audiences. They're not. My mum went to see Black Adam because my brother desperately wanted to see it, and she had to take him because it was a 12A, and he's not. Oh no, he is 12. He is 12 actually. No, is he 11? I forgot. But she went because he went. It's not like general audiences are going to be like, let's go and see The Flash. They have to promote the shit out of The Flash for it to be a success. The problem is now is that because I know I was saying earlier that it doesn't matter, they're not connected, think of them as their own movies, but the problem is because there is going to be a reboot, a lot of people, especially fans, are going to be like, why should I go and watch this if it connects to nothing? That is going to happen. That is inevitable. And people are going to boycott these films. They're going to boycott James Gunn. I do think Gunn knew what he was walking into, though. I do. I agree. Warner Brothers butchered Justice League. They had no idea what they were doing with it. To be honest, they rushed Justice League, and I don't think that was Zack Snyder's fault or anybody's fault. I think that was Warner Brothers going, we need an Avengers film. He doesn't look like this anymore. I'm sorry, but I think the future of the DCU is fine. Yeah, Henry should be the new 007. Very true. The problem is that it's been so long since Zack Snyder's Justice League and us seeing these characters together that I don't get people's sort of perception that, oh my god, they're such a strong gang. To be honest, they look like they all fucking hated working with each other. I'm sorry, but that's how I feel about both versions of Justice League. I didn't feel a connection with any of the characters in terms of them overall. They were very minute in terms of how they interacted with each other. I just don't think it was there. I don't. Remember when Andrew Garfield wasn't Spider-Man, then 7 years later he was considered the best part of Spider-Man No Way Home. Just a matter of perspective. Yeah, but we've done that. We did that. Henry Cavill was last Superman in 2017, technically. So 8, 9, 10, 12. So 5 years later, he came back for Black Adam's post-credit scene, but he has been told he is no longer Superman. It's happened. The No Way Home situation has happened, but just very small. All hope is not lost. Everyone that losing their minds, Cavill isn't going to play Superman in the solo movie, really didn't read this, did they? And yeah, Ezra Miller still has a job. He doesn't. I don't know, man. These guys are all over the place. Cavill didn't deserve this. To be honest, I think once Gunn and Safran are good to announce their slate, I think we're going to see a bit of calm amongst the fan community. I think that is a possibility. because they're going to announce what the Superman movie's about, and I think it will be the first film on their slate in terms of release. I think Superman could easily be filmed next year and released the next year. So filmed in 2023, released in 2024. If anything, I think they're going to concentrate on Peacemaker season 2 as well in terms of TV projects, because it will be too long since the last season came out if they leave it for a while. But man, oh man. It's interesting. It really is. I mean, him confirming a Superman reboot is happening. That means Zaslav has gone. All good. I think they've had it. Hey, Derpy501st. Hey, I'm new here. Are you new on YouTube, or are you just here on my page? Derpy, what's your reaction to Henry Cavill no longer being Superman? Your page. Oh, nice. Well, make sure you hit subscribe, like the live, and I'm gonna talk for another 10 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna get out of here because I have to go and do my real job. But nice to meet you. What's your reaction to the news? I gotta know, Derpy. I need to bounce off someone. I need this communication. Brandon Davis, obviously everyone loves. Can't help but wonder what sort of reboot that this is at DC. Is it a full reboot? Is it cherry picking the things that work? Is it rebooting things that don't fit the new vision? Time will tell, but curiosity is just going crazy right now. Sad for Cavill. I think it's a full reboot. I don't think it's a cherry pick. You can't do a cherry pick with this. Not with this fan base. Not with this franchise. I don't think you can. If you're rebooting Superman, who is technically the first person in the DCEU in terms of film, it's you cannot cherry pick. You can't say Cavill's out but Gal Gadot is still in. You can't. There's a big delay, but I have a lot to say. I'm actually optimistic because Cavill was spitting image of Superman, but what was given was not Superman, in my opinion, from Derpy501st. Okay, that's really interesting because I kind of agree with you. To be honest, I'm not the biggest Superman fan. I'm not, but in terms of when I'm interested in a character, that's when I really get hooked. But like you say, there was just nothing. I don't know, nothing. The performance was quite poor, to be honest. His performance in Man of Steel was not great. Batman v Superman is worse, and I think there's a bit more humanity in Justice League. Zack Snyder's Justice League. There's way more humanity in that performance. So I really think we could have got something great if they continued with Cavill, but it's not happening. And I'm sorry about the delay. I really am. I'll get that sorted. They are rebooting it completely. Yeah, there's no doubt, Derpy. There is no doubt. They are going to reboot this universe. And I don't... Yeah, again, cherry picking... Who would cherry pick from a universe that has so many complications and a very, very toxic fan base? Every franchise has a toxic fan base, but this is fucking disgusting. The way people talk about people is very worrying, and they make it very political as well, and I don't know why, but yeah. At the end of the day, they should not have released the Snyder Cut. They should have not have released it. They made a huge mistake doing that. And I think Gunn feels like that way, to be honest. There's just tweets like this as well. This is from Aaron S. Bailey. Absolutely, people have their own opinions, by the way. But I'm out. I'm done. If Henry's gone, that's it. Why on earth did Warner Brothers let him make a cameo if Black Adam in Black Adam if there was even a doubt that he would come back. This sucks. Things change, man. James Gunn and Peter Safran were not head of DC Studios. There was no DC Studios when that moment was filmed. That was cut. That didn't happen. Zaslav had no idea what was happening. By the sounds of it, they were going to continue with the DC Extended Universe, but once they got Gunn and Safran on board, they were game. It doesn't matter. These things happen all the time. Derpy 5 first, but from what I see, James Gunn is the spitting image of DC stands for. Just the characteristic of him feels like DC to me. Oh, do you mean like in terms of his style? It kind of converges with DC well. I think it... I mean, that's another one to add to the list, actually. Plastic Man? Or was it Flexi Man? I forget what you call it. The stretchy guy. I think that is a very James Gunn project. But I think Gunn has a fantastic imagination. He has great vision for stuff. I'm confident, man. I'm really confident in James Gunn. And also, he's been in the director's chair, you know. He's been in the producer's chair. He's been in the executive producer's chair. He knows how this stuff works. Even though he is the main creative on this new DC Studios, at the end of the day, he has been in that business chair. Peter Safran is taking care of all that, I know. And they work well together by the sounds of it. But they have been sat in a room, when you think about it, for 2 months, planning this universe. It must be the most stressful shit ever. But I completely agree with you, Derpy. I think Gunn has the right approach to stuff, and not just because of his, as you say, his sort of etiquette, like, you know, how he approaches his projects and everything, but I think at the end of the day that Gunn is very flexible as a creator as well, and I think he's going to bring some fantastic directors on board to the DC Universe projects, TV, film, video games. I think he is going to let them spread their wings as well. Kevin Feige at Marvel, they don't let people spread their wings. This is the problem with Marvel, is that the creativity, unfortunately, gets a brick wall thrown at it, and a piano, and a couple of bullets. But DC, even the projects that have gone out, there's variety. And at the end of the day, audience should be able to pick and choose what they go and watch. They should not have to go and watch every single film because it all connects. And I feel like that's an approach Gunn and Safran are taking. I feel like they're going into this and going, do you know what? We need to make films because of the film. We shouldn't be making films just to lead up to a Justice League or anything. Also, from what I saw, James Gunn's Superman film is going to focus on young Clark Kent as a reporter in Metropolis. If that's the case, it gives me Max Fleischer Superman vibes, which is the most iconic golden age. Let me just search that up. It's just so I can know which exact Superman iteration you're talking about. Oh, the 1940s animated. Yeah. Do you know what? Derpy? I've had this idea for a while. No, I'm wearing the same shirt. I've had this idea for a while that, but I've been told it's too much like Captain America, the First Avenger, or whatever. But I think they should be setting the next Superman movie in the 1930s, 40s. I think they should do it like a period piece, basically. Can you imagine seeing this costume in live action? We have seen it in live action, but it'd be amazing. Could you imagine a Superman movie based in the 1930s/40s? I think it'd be amazing. So yeah, good shout, Derpy. I think he could write something like that, definitely. And it could be really, really interesting. Can you imagine the style of, like, you know, like here, there's the robots. It's very James Gunn. Very James Gunn. You're completely 100% right. I think it'd be cool to see a Superman movie that is set. It starts off in the 40s, like in the prologue or whatever, and then because Superman is somewhat immortal, he ages a lot slower than humans. Obviously, it'd be cool to see Superman started existing back in the 30s, but he's still around in 2025. And Lois Lane is dead, Jimmy Olsen's dead, all his friends are dead, and he's existing in the world now. And you could call the film Man of Tomorrow, because he's learning how to exist in, you know, today's world, today's horrible, awful world and everything, and just seeing the transition between the two periods. I think it'd be much better. That would be a cool story. Not that as the backdrop of the story. I think they could do a more good story, but as the backdrop, perfect. I have watched these Superman cartoons, by the way, and they're absolutely brilliant for their time. They're fantastic. The question is, can he use that tone but have similar writing with plot to the 90s Superman show? If anyone can, James Gunn can. If anyone can, James Gunn can. That is completely right. He is going to bring the guns out. And I think what's amazing about James Gunn is that he can evolve and he can sort of morph into different sort of writer. I mean, Super is a fantastic film. If you've never seen Super, you should watch it. Sliver a James Gunn film? I don't really remember. Yeah, but Super is one of my favorite James Gunn's film. Brightburn. Well, we've seen what he can do with Brightburn, and I think he wrote Brightburn, didn't he? Let's find out. He might not have, to be honest. He might not have written Brightburn. Brian Gunn and Mark Gunn, so his relatives wrote it. So James Gunn didn't even write Brightburn. He exec produced it. And he didn't even direct it, so that should tell you everything. Yes, I want that design for this DCU whole time, but just give me the intro to the show in live action to start the film. I cry tears of joy. That would be cool, actually. They started the film like a retro Warner Brothers logo. Go, it's a bird, it's a plane. I think that's what it said, isn't it? More powerful than a local, that sort of thing. Let's actually get it up. I'll do this for you, Derpy. I'll make you cry now. Sorry, my cat is at my door at the moment. She's trying to get in. Here we go. Very James Gunn. I love this music, by the way. I think it's amazing. I recognise that name. I completely agree. It's 100% Superman. Oh, here we go. Oh, that'd be cool. Not gonna lie to you, I could watch this all day. I could. This is a 4K restored version of the 1941 serial, The Mad Scientist, which you can check out on YouTube, by the way. But that would be cool. But I think another another sort of inspiration that could definitely happen. Sorry, my mouse is sped up. Is this. I think James Gunn could easily do a 60s, 50s style Superman. I do. Animated series? There is actually one more. I'll show you in a minute. But I'll play the animated series intro. This is a 2K version, by the way. I restored it myself. No, I'm joking. I remember this really well. This was hardly on in the UK. The Batman animated series was, and Batman Beyond, but this was hardly on. So I haven't seen every single one, and it was very limited, the run, I believe. I mean, there's Lobo. So good. I will play one more intro. And to be honest, I really liked this show for the first few seasons. But we have to play it because Gunn could easily do this. Absolutely. Sorry, my alarm just went off. Absolutely amazing. Such a good. Seriously, season 1 is brilliant. The fact they made a Superman TV show in the 90s still blows my mind. Okay, Derpy, last comment. Also, if we're to Batman, it would be based off Adam West, but not campy. To the extreme, but the intro to the film would be the animated intro for the Batman series and end the film after defeating the villain. It would be the cliffhanger, 60, same Batman time, same but universe, something like that. Yeah, I completely understand. I mean, I think, yeah, if they have a DC Universe Batman, it would be sort of cohesive to the world and whatever Gunn sort of represents. So yeah, all the intros and everything like that will be done. But anyway, guys, I think that's the video. I've got to go to work, so it's been interesting talking about this. It really has. Thank you for all tuning in. Again, very sad news that Cavill is no longer playing Superman. But I think the future is bright for the DC Universe. I think we should all be excited. I think we should embrace it. And I think we should respect Cavill for his commitment to Superman for so many years. Even though he hasn't been Superman for quite a while, and he can't include Zack Snyder's Justice League. But Cavill, if you're watching this, and you won't be because you've got other things to do, thank you. I mean, you looked the part. You had some memorable moments as Superman, probably more than the others I can think of. But Cavill, thank you for being Superman. And, well, I look forward to the next. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll be doing more news videos. I'll be keeping you up to date with DC Studios, obviously, the news going out about it. I'm very excited for the future. And, yeah, and happy Christmas. I think that's the other thing to say. Merry Christmas. I'm really looking forward to next year in terms of the channel. We've already hit over 100 subscribers, which is huge personally for me. So thank you to everyone that has subscribed. This is gonna be, yeah. I think 2023 is going to be a really good year for the channel. So make sure you keep up to date. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and may the force be with you. It's the wrong film. Thank you for watching. See ya.